Hello, everybody, and welcome to round two of season 5 of the Tier 2 Championship. We're here in Miami today. I'm your commentator, Deathlink. Commentate for the first time, so if audio's terrible or if I make a mistake, just tell me and I'll try and fix it. Um, but yeah, here we are for round two of this very exciting championship. And we had a very exciting round one. Unfortunately, it wasn't streamed, so nobody got to see it here. But I'll let you know what happened. Um, so Ramon picked up the first victory of the season, 25 points, followed by Faxi, and then MKL picking up the podiums. So a lot to play for here at Miami. A wet Miami as well. So expect to see spins, expect to see crashes. We're going to have it all to do this afternoon. So this is going to be a very interesting race. Tell me who you guys want to win, who you think's going to win in the chat, and I'll read it out. In terms of the constructors standing, Aston Martin are currently top on 26 points, followed by Merck and then Alfa Romeo. So I'm sure teams that will be looking to improve this weekend, Ferrari, Williams, and Haas didn't score any points last time out in Bahrain. So definitely here in Miami, they'll be looking to score at least one to get themselves on the board. Disappointing outing for McLaren last time as well, and also for Red Bull. They might have picked up couple 2 points finishes, but had a lot of issues, and they could have easily been on the podium that weekend. So it's gonna be very interesting. We're just waiting for everyone to get ready, get into the lobby, and we'll swap to the game very shortly. But yeah, once again, tell me who you guys think is winning, who you're supporting for this stream. It's going to be a very interesting one, that's for sure. We obviously had Tier 1 racing yesterday, and a lot of chaos happened in that race. A few safety cars, surprise winner, and maybe we get something similar today. But first of all, short qualifying coming up first, and then a full 29-lap race. So I think almost everyone is in the lobby. So we'll be looking to switch over to that fairly shortly. Always takes the longest getting everyone into the lobby. But when they are all in, the action doesn't stop in Swift Motorsport, that's for sure. It looks like we're going to have a relatively full grid this afternoon. 18 drivers. I think the only person we're missing right now is the Red Bull of Striker Boy. So we'll see if he gets here in time to race. I got 2 Williams, 2 Mercedes. No, 1 Mercedes actually. Ramon doesn't appear to be. Oh no, there he is. He just hasn't picked Mercedes yet. 2 McLarens, 2 Alpines, 2 Aston Martins, 2 AlphaTauris, 2 Ferraris. So yeah, we're just missing the Red Bull. And I promise I will swap over to the gameplay shortly. You don't want to see this. It's just a lobby screen. It's not entertaining at all. There you go. Striker is now in. Just waiting on Ramon to pick his car. And then we'll be there. Yeah, if the in-game music is loud or the in-game audio is too loud, tell me, and I'll turn it down. Dragon supporting Alpine. Well, Alpine have looked very strong. Obviously, in Tier 1, there was a lot of controversy surrounding Alpine, but we don't need to get into that here. That's all been sorted out. But there was controversy in yesterday's race as well, but I believe that is also being sorted out. So maybe we can go through a Swift Motorsport race without some controversy. But, you know, it's always more entertaining with controversy, isn't it? Of course you're racing. Sorry, Dragon. Of course you are. I can see you're racing. In Alpine. So I think surprise packages in terms of pace this weekend. Obviously, Juno drove in Tier 1 yesterday and did relatively well. Got taken out by a few people. No incident was his fault. I'm not saying that because of any other reason. Uh, but I could definitely see him doing well. And Striker as well. Definitely got a little screwed in the Bahrain race and will be looking to make up ground here in Tier 2. And Mercedes look like they're picking up where they left off last season. Currently second in the constructors, leading the driver standings. As it looks like we're getting close to running up time. As there is 90, oh no, I think there's 20 drivers on the grid. It's going to be chaotic. It's intermediate weather. Could be dry coming at the end of the race as well. As I think I'll put it on the lobby screen for you guys. You've seen the starting soon. Too long. You can just see the lobby now. I think we're still waiting on Striker. He's having a bit of dodgy connection. So hopefully that'll be fixed in time for him to race. Or Juno's going to have to race on their own. Which would suck for them because it really screws over strategy. As we know, strategy in F1, especially with two drivers, is the most important thing. Cheers, thank you for that one. That's a nice comment. I like that one. That's an even better comment. Keep them up. Keep them up, guys. Let's go. Still, why is it taking so long? It always does. Thanks, man. My TP always says hi. I don't think Striker's going to be racing unless he can fix his internet. So there might not be any Striker boys today, which would be a shame for Red Bull. They need points on the board. They didn't get many in Tier 1 yesterday. And they need as many as they can in Tier 2, as I said, after a disappointing outing. So, a couple of people readying up. We are getting closer to start time. You can't judge. I wasn't racing yesterday. I'm the commentator, clearly. Wasn't me racing yesterday in Tier 1. Don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, can we get this race started, please? As much as I'm sure the chat is loving viewing the menu which shows you all the drivers, I think they'd like to see some actual driving. Especially in the interconditions. I can just hear my computer in real life screaming in pain. So if it blows up, it blows up. It's very hot today in real life, so it might just explode. Striker is coming. Well, that's good to know. And then finally, when Striker comes, we can get the race started. I'm running out of filler. Can you guys tell? This race was meant to start about 10 minutes ago? Maybe less. But I'm not here to complain about Swift, I'm here to enjoy it. As much as this menu is fascinating, I think a race would be even more fascinating. You can jam to the not copyrighted music, as much as I'm sure copyrighted music would be way more interesting to listen to. I don't even know how loud that is for you guys. It might just be, you might not be able to hear it at all. The uncopyrighted music just plays the same loop of song. I've just realised it's not actually a song. I think it's just the F1 theme changed, so it's not copyrighted. That's really shit. Ugh. Trying to get a slightly more comfortable position so I don't completely straw my back during this race. As maybe we might start this race at some point. It might happen. Don't hold your breath. But as I said, it wouldn't be a Swift Motorsport race without something going wrong. Striker loads up F1 for a sixth time this afternoon as he tries to, in vain, get into the lobby. Also, hope we don't get any weird audio glitches. I don't know if a lot of the stream heard it yesterday, but there's a bug going around in the F1 game currently where audio is just becoming really fuzzy. For some reason, under safety cars a lot of the time. So if that does happen, let me know. I'll turn the audio down because I had to listen to it through a whole race. I don't want you guys to listen to it through a stream. That's just not fair. You don't even hear the cars anyway. Let's make engine noises. Oh, the song's looping again. It's probably about the fifth time it's happened. As I am running low on filler, guys. There is not a lot of filler I could do. The filler is running slowly out of my system. I ran out of filler about 5 minutes ago. I'm just trying to speak, so just talk bollocks until we actually get a session. Talk about my race yesterday. It wasn't very good. Well, it was alright. I got taken out by an Aston Martin, and then an Alfa Romeo spun in front of me, and I lost out on what could have been P4. So that was a bit disappointing. But not the end of the world. As people are readying up, and I think we're about to finally get into this race. Whoa, that was close. Almost completely out of filler as the clock is going down. We're about to get into the first live qualifying session for T2. So all T2 qualifying are short qualifying. Oh no, it's full qualifying. Oh, I got that wrong. It's full qualifying. It used to be short. They changed it. So we've got a full quali session. And I think the whole session is into weather. So won't be anyone gambling on slicks or anything, as far as I'm aware. That is, you are correct. T2 are no longer. Why is I can't read my phone. My phone is slightly at distance, so I can see the chat. Wish I had 2 monitors. Anyway, we're loading to the game. Just got to wait for a few people to load in. So I've been saying that more than anything else today. But I promise everyone we will get some on-track action fairly shortly. Just waiting for Dragon, Max, and Unfi to load into the game. Now it's waiting for Dragon and Unfi. Unfi's in. And Dragon's in. Here we go. Right. Here we are for Q1. 17 minutes of Q1 session. And now, if the Inters are going to be the tyre of choice for the whole session, which we believe they are, and the track keeps raining, going out straight away is probably the best option for these drivers, because the track is just going to get worse and worse. So if I was these drivers, I'd be going out straight away, setting a lap. And there is someone heading out there, and it is an Alpine of Chris GLT. It's just coming out the pit lane to test the track conditions. So we finally get some on-track action for everyone. So we can ride on board here with Chris GLT on his outlap. We can survey the track. So Miami, very obviously new circuit to Formula One. Quite the technical one as well. Very fast-paced street circuit. And if you hit a wall and there's someone behind you, you're going to hit them as well. So it's going to be a very interesting race, especially in the wet. So on the left-hand side, you can see all of the drivers, some in the pit, some going out for outlap. Now, if you're new to qualifying in Formula One, the way it works is the bottom 5 drivers from 16th down get knocked out. But as there's only 19 drivers, only 19th, 18th, 17th, and 16th will be knocked out. So only 4 people going out in this session, and then as we head to Q2, another 5 people will get knocked out until we're left with the last 10. But that's in Q3. We're focusing on Q1 now. And as we've been riding on board with Chris, we'll follow his lap around the Miami International Circuit for his first flying lap. Oop, press the wrong button there. So there we go. He starts his first flying lap here. So heading down the back straight into turn 1, heavy braking zone. He locks up both tyres there, taking a lot of curb on the inside. And then riding the curb nicely around the right. So we head flat out into what would be, in the dry, 2 flat out left-handers. And then a flat out right-hander. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Shouldn't affect Chris's lap here, as he's only going through sector 1. He hangs it nice and wide, but that corner is being monitored for track limits. You can't run completely off that corner, so we'll be keeping an eye on that during the race. As we head down the back straight, of course, in wet conditions, no DRS enabled. So Red Bull just parked on the exit curb there, that was fine. Gave the Alpine a nice slipstream. So we head into the very tight and technical section of the Miami circuit. And you can run completely over this curb on the left-hand side. Let's see if he does it. He does it slightly, doesn't do it completely. Runs through there in second gear as well. So we now head down the second to last back straight before the heavy braking zone, before the final corners. Yellow flag, sector 3. Just people slowing down to start their flying lap, getting out of the way of others on their own flying lap. So heavy braking zone for the final corner, slowing it down nicely to get a lovely exit as we accelerate to the line and see what kind of lap Chris can pull out of the bag. And it's a 1:38.680. So that's what we're looking at in terms of competitive wise. So Mist has also done a lap. Ooh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. I'm very sorry. So Mist did a 1:40.595. Faxi pulls onto the board with a 39.22. Dragon a 39.37. So Chris still with the fastest lap here. The Ferrari currently on his flying lap. As the Williams of Lukey goes P1, a 1:37.8. Good lap from him. So that is the benchmark currently. Valid and unfeed. Both AlphaTauris not come out for a lap yet, which is interesting. Johnny goes 6th fastest, followed by Max, who goes 6th fastest. And then Ramon jumps up to 3rd there with a 1:38. So no one, apart from Lukey, breaking into the 1:37s yet. Ferrari coming through the final sector. We're going to have a look to see what his lap is going to be like. So another yellow flag in Sector 3, I assume, for someone's slowing down. RD Gamer goes 4th fastest. Wins in the other Ferrari, goes 8th fastest. MLK has gone 6th fastest. Jake Boy goes 10th fastest. Let's see what Wins' teammate can do. Striker goes on to pole with a 1:37.7. Good lap from him, 10th fastest and Luki. The other Ferrari goes 9th fastest, 1:39.6. So, other people doing their lap times. Somewhat Dragon. Oh no, sorry, Dragon's already done his lap. PP Pockets has gone 3rd fastest. Jake Boy down in 14th. As Juno has gone 9th fastest. So, only 3 people haven't come out the pits to do their flying lap yet. Those are the AlphaTauris and the other Williams. So here we are, the man with the fastest lap so far. 37.7, 10th quicker than Lukey, and almost half a second quicker than P Pockets. So Lukey coming into the pits. Both Alpines into the pits. I'm sure a lot of people will be boxing now. Some people like to do more than one lap on a set of intermediate tyres. It's personal preference, really. Ramon almost losing it there on the exit of that corner. That wouldn't have been good. He doesn't want to slam into a wall in Q1 because he won't be able to participate in Q2 if he does so. As there is a yellow flag out in the middle sector. Trying to find out who that was. Just someone going slowly on the exit there. I think it's a Haas of... Oh, it's a Haas of P Pockets. Just getting out of the way of a quick lap. So, nothing to worry about there. And Striker now pulling into the pits. So everyone back in the pits. It's interesting to see that both AlphaTauris and the other Williams haven't done a flying lap yet. As we look to find out where that yellow flag is. I think it's just someone slowing down. Juno probably getting out of the way of someone. As Foxy's come out for another outlap. Oh no, Juno doing another flying lap here. I don't think he improved on his time. But he is on the flying lap. The flying lap. It's good. So yellow flag in Sector 1, just ahead of Juno here. Juno's sliding around on these intermediate tyres as he hits the wall. And has that broken his front wing? And it has. So, Juno, he didn't look confident on those inters whatsoever. He's now gone completely straight on, trying to avoid the Alpine on a flying lap. So, Juno's going to have to come into the pits there, get a new front wing. And that is not what you want to see in Q1. He's very lucky not to snap the front suspension there. Because that could have really cost him. So, as Juno drives back to get a new front wing, See people on outlaps, Faxi warming up his tyres, and the rain doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. Inters will be the tyre of choice for a while, I would imagine. And interesting enough, Unfi's still in the pits, but finally, the Williams and the other AlphaTauri have come out of the pit lane to do their outlap, and Unfi also is on his way out to do his first flying lap of the session. So I would say Striker 1:37.7, probably a safe time. So there's, the yellow flag in the middle sector. People just slowing down. Look at that. They got no traction in that first corner there, Foxy. As he almost snaps it 3 times just coming through that first sector alone. So I think it's probably yellow flag just for Juno getting back into the pits. Get that new front wing on. Head back out. So cut-off time currently, Jake Boy with the 15th fastest time, 1:40.4. Cut-off time I'd say is a low 1:40, 1:40.0, maybe 1:41. So Johnny will need to improve. I'd say Jake Boy, Maxi, and probably, I think both Ferraris would be safe, but they're on an outlap right now just to see if they can improve on their lap times. I'm sure they'd love to. Sure, they'd love to improve on their lap times. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. A lot of people out on laps right now, so just trying to keep you guys updated with stuff. If you see a yellow flag in Sector 3, it's likely people are just slowing down for their flying laps. There's Ramon again. That first sector so slippery there for everyone in that first sector, and he's backed out of that lap. Won't be carrying on with that lap. I think Chris GT possibly on another flying lap here as the Haas gets out of his way. Nope. And Misty's just got a fine reverse gear there. Did a good job getting out of the way, but couldn't find reverse. So I think Valid on their first flying lap will ride on board with them for a bit as they head through the tight, twisty nature of this section. Now it's even tighter and even more twisty in wet conditions. He rides that curve very nicely, does Valid. And I'm sure Valid will be looking to get a good time on the board. So he comes down the second to last back straight. And through the first corner. So through the final corner. Flats the line. We can see what kind of lap time Valid will do. Crosses the line. He goes fastest. A 37.6. Now that is a competitive time for Valid. Someone else jumps up the leaderboard as well. Juno now down to 12th. Misty into 11th. So Jake Boy now into the bottom 5. And he will definitely not like that sight. Ooh, there we go. So, just check the gaps to the leaders there for everyone. So it is a 37.6 striker, less than a tenth, 50,000th off of Valid's time. Then comes Luca, MLK, PP Pockets, Chris GLT, Max, Uncle Grandpa Funny Moments, Ramon, and RD Gamer, your top 10. Unfi put in a time for P12. So, sure, a lot of people will be looking to improve on their lap times. As there's 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. And the people that need to improve is obviously the other Williams needs to get a lap on the board. Jake Boy wins Dragon, and I'd say Juno needs to get a lap on the board as well. Got into Q3 yesterday in T1 qualifying on the brink of being knocked out in Q1 in T2, and that would be heartbreaking in the second round of the season. I believe he made it into Q3 in round 1. You will need to put in a good lap here. So he just gets out of the way. So other people doing flying laps. Unfi, I think, has just finished his flying lap. 13th, I think he should be safe. Dragon obviously on an out lap. I think Wins is on a flying lap along with the Williams. Will the Williams finish this lap? They will. Where can they put themselves? Can they get themselves off the back row of the grid? They do, but only to 18th. Do they have enough fuel in ERS to go again? Very interesting to see that development as Juno look to set up for their flying lap here. We're going to ride on board with Juno because they need a lap time here. They looked very unsettled through the first corner. Obviously, they broke their front wing as well. With 3 minutes to go in this session, need a lap. So, heavy braking zone into turn 1. Make sure you don't ride too many curbs because in wet conditions they are very slippery. So a lot more planted through that first corner. Still, the back end seems to be stepping out on him. So we head through the fast left-hander, down to 5th gear. Valid puts in another lap time. Goes 0.2 faster than Striker. As Juno just heading through the technical left-hander before the back straight. See Juno's sector times in the top right-hand corner as he looks to improve. Car's getting out of the way nicely for him there, which is what you always want to see. Never want to see someone get blocked on a qualifying lap. That slows it down nicely for the left-right chicane. Sector 3. Oh, sorry, the yellow flag in Sector 2, sorry. So Juno 2/10s up in the middle sector on his previous lap. So he should, as long as he slows it down nicely for this final corner, put in a time to improve from 14th. It's going to need to go slightly lower, maybe into the low 139s. And we'll see what other people can do. Gets it nice through that final corner. As he crosses the line now. Only 12th fastest, and we'll see if anyone behind him can beat him. Dragon finishing their lap. They're 4/10 up on their lap. Crosses the line. Lost it all in the final sector. And they're going to have to go again. 15th only. Wins also on a lap. Jake Boy on an out lap. Should get to the line in time. Johnny is in the pits. Won't improve on his own lap time. As the Williams looks to be coming into the pits. That's their qualifying session over with. I think they've run out of fuel. That's the issue there. So the Williams, one out in Q1. Shame for them. Jake Boy still on his outlap here. 50 seconds left on the clock. Interestingly, Striker Boy, who is very much safe, second fastest. Doesn't need to improve on his lap, but wants to feel the conditions as we head towards Q2. Might just be doing a reconnaissance lap. Moves out of the way of someone on a flying lap. I think the track conditions are getting slightly better. Not good enough for slicks, of course, but they might be getting slightly better. So, we're going to see what Dragon can do. Dragon, 3/10 up in the middle sector. That should move himself clear of the drop zone. Wins. Let's see how his lap has been going. Clearly, he's just done another cool-down lap. He's going to be starting another flying lap. 6 seconds left. Juno puts himself 9th. That'll be him safe for this session. Here comes Dragon. A few people already crossed the line. Dragon crosses the line. Moves himself 14th fastest. Will that be enough for safety? Wins. He's out of the session. Jake Boy didn't have a very good first sector. Needs to find it all in the final sector. So as it stands, Unfi on the brink of getting knocked out in Q1. Unless Wins or Jake Boy can find a bit of a magic lap. Wins. First sector is good. 3/10 up on his previous best in the first sector. That'll be enough to beat Unfi. Unless Unvi can improve his own lap time. He's coming around the middle sector. He's had a poor middle sector, Unvi. 2/10 down on his own time. Don't know how Jake Boy is. 5/10 down on his lap. I think for Jake Boy, unfortunately, he is out. So we turn our attention to the Ferrari of wins. He needs to have a perfect few corners here to get himself into Q2 ahead of Unfi. What's his middle sector? 4/10 up again. Unfi into the pits. All he can do now is pray that Wins has a terrible final corner, or it'll be Unfi eliminated in Q1 along with Jake Boy, the Williams, and Johnny. As he comes around the final corner and just wins. It's nice and steady through there. Careful not to invalidate as it's dragged to the line. Has he done enough to get into Q2? No, he hasn't. By 2/10 of a second, he's missed out on Unfi and wins. Even though he improved his own lap time, it wasn't enough for him to get into Q2. Unfi gets through by the skin of his teeth in 15th. And Striker, right at the end of that session, went fastest by 4/10 of a second. So he's just laid down the gauntlet. But for Wins, Jake Boy, Williams, and Johnny, it's bye-bye in Q1 as we roll on to Q2. So that lap from Striker is an impressive one. 37.1, almost 37 flat. As my good friend Johnny wants an invite to the session, which I can't provide, unfortunately. I'm very sorry, Johnny, I can't do it. So that is people's lap times. As I said, the bottom 4 get eliminated as we roll on, hopefully, to Q2. Yes, Dragon. Why are you 8/10 up? Oh, well. Ah, you backed out of it. Ah, okay. So yeah, at the end of that session, Striker 4/10 faster than Valid, followed by Lukey and the other Williams. Unfortunately for the Williams team, his teammate got eliminated in Q1. Chris 4th fastest. So into Q2, once again should be another wet session. And in the wet, it's very different. Yes, Dragon, you just got told, don't tab out, it ruins the game for everyone. Unless you're using your phone, then that's fine. Unfi has left the session. Well, he got himself into Q2, but has left the session, so hopefully he can find his way back in. So here we are in Q2. And we're going to wait for drivers to come out. So most impressive drivers, I'd say, in that session. Obviously, Striker, Valid, looking like the nailed on people to fight for pole position. But Juno put in a good lap towards the end of the session. MLK has always been pretty quick in these conditions. And Dragon had a very good session, but backed out of his lap. So we'll see where the pace is. It might be last person out gets the best conditions and gets the best time on the board. So, Valid, here we go. This is the man of the hour. Needs to improve. Didn't get a great performance in Bahrain. I think we'll see how many points he scored. I can tell you how many points he scored. Don't think he did score, actually. He scored, I think he might have scored 1 point. But with the pace he has, should be scoring more than 1. In terms of Mercedes, didn't see a lot of pace from Ramon this in the first session. Maybe sandbagging for waiting until Q3 to prove their real pace. But we'll find out. So I'll get everything on board for you guys. Get the track map on as well, because then we can see what is happening around the circuit. So as I explained in Q1, once again, start with the 15 drivers. 5 will be leaving us in this session. Luca missed, so the bottom, sorry, not Luca. I was just reading from the bottom 5 because I'm an idiot. So everyone currently below Juno, if they stood where they were, they'd all get eliminated. So they'll be looking to put laps on the board, as we're going to ride on board with Valid, as he seems to be in prime position to fight for pole this afternoon. So, into turn 1, you can see his telemetry at the bottom, see his braking points, and where he accelerates in, as he rides it nicely through this first sector. He's already up to 50. Now, if in this game, you want to get into 5th gear quite quickly. Can I see who the lobby host is? Possibly. It might be me. I assume it would be me because I'm the spectator. That would make sense. I'm not sure, Johnny. I wouldn't know how to check even if I did. I'll check after this lap. But as we're back onto watching Valid's lap. Oh yeah, you can't invite me, that's true. So Valid down the back straight here. So we head into the heavy braking zone for the left-hander. He's riding these pedals really nicely, not accelerating too much. Obviously in wet conditions you've got to be really careful. So we've got a yellow flag in sector 1. I think it's a Haas is spun round in sector 1. He's got it going again. And once again, Valid looking solid through this section. As he sets the fastest middle sector of the lap. And I think so Red Bull has possibly had a bit of a spin. I'll just have a look for you there. I think it was Juno, was it? Has Juno broken their front wing? They've invalidated their lap. Don't see any damage. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. But Valid to set the first flying lap. Dragon does a 1:38.2. Here comes Valid. Puts a 1:37.7 on the board. Let's see who can beat that. Luca can, a 1:37.3. Good lap from the Williams driver. MKL goes third fastest as Foxy does a brilliant save in that final corner, completely snapping it in half, but keeps going a straight line. That would have lost him at least 0.3 of a second. He's now the slowest driver. As Max in the Mercedes goes third fastest. Ramon only 8th fastest. Not a good lap from him. The Ferrari crosses the line, goes 9th fastest. We wait for the Hasses. Here comes P Pockets, goes 6th fastest, and then Misty to start his to finish his flying lap. I think he's got held up on this lap, possibly by the Juno. I think Juno had a bit of an incident on that lap. Sorry, so missed getting held up. Juno crashing for the second time in this qualifying session. He won't be happy he's done that. So yeah, just seeing a replay of it. Apparently, Mist spun. Oh, it was Misty that spun, and Juno had to move out of the way. So cost both their lap times. Misty will have to go again. Juno into the box, I assume, for a new front wing. And here's the other challenger for pole position, Striker Boy. So he comes through the final corner here. So we had flat to line. It's going to be a brilliant lap. And it is a brilliant lap. It's a 36.9. We're into the 36s for Striker Boy. I think he's got a bit of internet connection there as he has a couple of glitches around. But Luca and Valid will be looking at that lap time and thinking, where can I find it? That's almost 0.8 of a second on that lap alone. So definitely Striker Boy looking a bet in these wet conditions for pole position. I think Striker is struggling a bit with internet connection, but it shouldn't be adding to his lap time. It was just a very good lap from him. So Misty, I think, started another flying lap after his spin. See where he can put himself in the Haas. His teammate currently 7th fastest, as Misty pulls into the pits. Didn't want to finish that lap. Wasn't worth it, apparently. So, a bit of a yellow flag there. Foxy just warming up for a lap. So I think Max is actually on a flying lap. Oh no, he's on an out lap as well. Invalidated. This is what this is. Invalidated lap, so won't be improving from there. Striker still out on the track. Bit of fuel left in him, but I assume boxing's got no ERS left anyway, so there's no point doing another lap. So, from the 12 runners we've had so far, 11 runners have set lap times. Missed, obviously, having that issue. Spun couldn't get his own lap time in. And for Unfi, Juno, and RD Gamer, going to need to find a lap here. I think Unfi still having a bit of trouble getting back into the session, so hopefully he can get back in to put in a flying lap. And we have a look on Juno here. So Juno, he's got RD Gamer in front of him, obviously in the McLaren. And for Juno, I think it's very important that he had a few incidents, crashed in Q1, broke his front wing, just got through into Q2 with a brilliant last lap to put him 9th fastest. But he definitely has got to find the pace in this session. The grid is very tight and close together, and one little mistake, one invalidation, then that's going to cost him. So, as I said, got into Q3 yesterday with a brilliant lap in the dry. Wasn't too shabby in wet race conditions, but will definitely need to improve. If I was him, I'd back a bit away from RD Gamer. You don't want to get dirty air, especially if there's an incident in front, which in the wet conditions, very likely that the driver in front of you could spin, crash, yellow flags. It all could happen for Juno. So 6 minutes left in this session. We'll ride on board with the Sector 1 again. I think one of the Aston Martins having a bit of trouble through that first sector. I think everyone's having a bit of trouble. So slippery out there. As Juno heads to start his flying lap into turn 1, heavy braking zone. Nicely slowed down for this corner. You want to get a nice acceleration. Get it up into 5th gear. The wheel's still spinning at this point. And worked well through that first sector. Now, through the left-hander, and then switch to the right. Run slightly wide there, but may just taken a different line. So he wants to get it slowed down for the left-hander. Gets it slowed down nicely into 2nd. Just the tiniest bit on the acceleration there. His first sector is a 35.4 in the first sector. There's Juno's yellow flag in Sector 2. It's for the Aston Martin. You can see on the map in the bottom right-hand corner. Juno slows it down nicely for that. The Aston Martin slowing down again. Doing a lot of slowdown laps is the Aston Martins there. I don't know if he's got an issue or just can't find that perfect lap time. And I can promise you, in racing and in Formula 1, you're never going to get that perfect lap time. Foxy obviously only 10th right now. Definitely needs to improve. As we see now for Juno, this is going to have to be quite the special lap from him to jump himself up. He probably will get another lap in. He's probably fueled for more than one, I'd imagine. So around the final corner in 1st gear. Accelerates nicely through there. 4 minutes left in the session. So he comes around the final corner. Where's he going to put himself? Only 13th fastest. 1:38.8. Juno knows that he can improve on that lap time. And if he wants to get into Q3, he's going to have to. So your bottom 5 currently is Chris GLT. Sorry, Faxi, Ramon, Juno, Mist, and Unfi, who hasn't set a lap time. I don't believe he's in the session. Misty is already 7 seconds up in the first sector. That is because of his incident he suffered there earlier in qualifying. As there's a slow Mercedes coming up for him, so hopefully that will move out of his way. He does, to be fair, the Merc nicely gets out of the way there. Not interfering with Misty at all, which is nice to see. Dragon in the top 10 there, 8th fastest. And we're going to see... So I think there's a McLaren has crashed, actually. Has he broken his front wing? He hasn't, but he has definitely slowed down. So Misty, obviously, massively improved on this lap. But that's just because he spun his first lap. As we head through the final corner now. Where can Misty put his car? Stays 14th. And unless he's fueled up for another lap, that could be Misty out of this qualifying session. Juno has done his out lap. He's doing one more push lap. 3 minutes left to go in this session. As we see if Juno can pull himself up from 13th. You're going to need at least a low 138 to be safe to get into Q3. Someone's just put a very good lap. I think Ramon puts himself 4th fastest. Good lap from him there. So, you know, once again, just sliding. Just can't find the grip in the car. I think, yeah, as we said, he's probably running a different setup here in the wet. One of he's running a more dry setup. There is going to be a dry spell in the race. As Juno there, but 4 tenths up in the first sector. That is what you want to be seeing in the first sector. 2 minutes 20 on the clock then, and there's still a lot to decide in this qualifying Q2. Chris GLT on a lap. Uncle Grandpa Funny Moments also on a lap. Dragon is still in the pits. He can still come out for a flying lap, and I assume he will. 9th fastest. 138.2. I don't think that's a safe time. A 138.0, I think that's more of a safe time. So, Dragon will probably need to come out for a flying lap. And that middle sector from Juno there is purple. That's the fastest middle sector we've seen so far in this session. And for Juno, this is a do or die lap for him as he slows it down nicely for the final corner. Just kissing that apex. Brilliant. Get the acceleration, get the power down. Can Juno move himself out of the bottom 5? Crosses the line now. 9th fastest. It's a 38.0. And that will probably see him secure into the top 10. Uncle Grandpa Funny Moments, first sector is not bad. But I think he's still trying to find the grip out there. I think everyone is. As the rain still comes down around the Miami International Circuit. It has not stopped raining here. And yeah, Grandpa Funny Moments definitely doing a cool down lap. And then another quick lap. Chris GLT crosses the line. Stays 12th fastest. He's going to have to go again, and I'm sure he will just carry on. Foxy doing a cool down lap. And then trying to improve. Misty also looking to improve on 14th if he can. That'll be very important for the Haas team. Obviously, one of their drivers are in Q3 currently and will very much be safe into Q3. They'd like their other driver to be, and he's 10th up in the middle sector. Don't know if that'll be enough for Misty. He won't get another lap in. So this will be the only lap that Misty gets to do in his final lap in Q2, sorry. 5 seconds remain on the clock. And Misty decides that it won't improve. And that will be his qualifying session over with 14th fastest for Misty. I'm sure he'd love to be a bit higher up. But at the end of the day, it's not a bad session from the Haas team. Foxy looking very quick through that left-hander. I think Juno was trying another lap, and Foxy's a 10th up in the first sector. Keep an eye on him. Chris GLT, a 10th up in the middle sector. Uncle, 2 tenths up in the first sector. As Chris GLT comes around the final corner. Juno might not be safe here. Dragon, definitely not safe. As Chris GLT comes around the final corner. Can he improve from 12th fastest? He goes 11th. He misses out on the top 10 by a 10th of a second. And he is going to be hurting after that one. As it's now down to the Ferrari. This last Ferrari in qualifying. Can he get himself into the top 10 shootout? He's currently 12th. Where can he put that Ferrari? 7th fastest. Good improvement from him. So it's now down to see if Faxi can jump both Alpines and jump Juno. He's going to need a 38.0, but he has a terrible final corner. It might not be enough as we come down the main straight. Where can he put his car? 15th. He doesn't improve. 13th, sorry. Doesn't improve. Which means in that dramatic end to Q2, Juno does get through by 0.2 of a second. Head of Dragon, and Chris GLT missing out. Not by a lot there as well, but a great lap from the Ferrari to move himself 7th in the end. Unfi didn't set a qualifying lap. Misty 14th, Faxi 13th, Chris GLT 12th, and Dragon just outside the top 10 in 11th. But for Striker Boy, once again, 136.9. No one else has broken into the 136s yet, apart from himself. And Luca 4 cents down on that time. So Q3 coming up now, once we've loaded back into the session. Misty unfortunately had a few incidents in that session which probably cost him a bit of running. I'm sure he would have loved to run a bit longer than he did. So just waiting for Q3 now. And now this is all the... No more people getting eliminated. This is all for pole position. 12 minutes of this session. Just go enable everyone. So, put your predictions for pole in the chat. My money's on Striker. He's looked the quickest in both sessions, but I wouldn't discount Valid. So I'm sure he will put on a good lap. And where can the Mercedes put themselves? I'm sure they'll be looking to be further up than 4th and 5th. As money's on Luca. Dragon says it'll be Striker. And Luca in the Williams, he's looked very quick. Second fastest, only got Striker in front of him. And, you know, he is definitely one to watch in this session. And of course, the Haas unbiased TP wants pockets on pole. Could happen. He's looked pretty quick in the session. Ferrari's coming out here along with the Red Bull Striker Boy. Juno not coming out yet. I don't know how many sets of inters he has. As Valid will look to set pole position here around the Bahrain International Circuit. Bahrain International Circuit. It's Miami. I was thinking of Bahrain because I couldn't think of who got pole last time out. Anyone remember who got pole? It wasn't streamed. Anyone tell me who did it? It does, yeah. It looks like a lot like Miami. It's crazy. You'd be surprised. So Valid looking to set the first flying lap of Q3. Ramon put it on pole. Ramon Faxi MKL. Okay. So Ramon, in his Mercedes, will definitely look to improve, as he hasn't been near pole in the wet. Faxi not in this session, but MKL is. So can MKL get near the front row again? It was Valid just looking very clean through this first sector. Doesn't run wide on that exit curb, which is good. And it looks like the Mercedes might be considering a tow here down the main straight. I think Max is on an outlap, and Ramon in P6 might be getting a nice slipstream. As you can see on the map there, the Mercedes aren't too far away from each other. We'll be watching Striker. He's on a flying lap. He's on an out lap right now. We will watch him, but we want to see what Valid's lap time is like. So Valid using that Haas as slipstream there, very clever from the AlphaTauri there as he comes around the final corner. This is the lap time they've all got to chase. Valid been there or thereabouts in qualifying this afternoon. And he goes onto pole, provisional pole with a 1:37.2. As here comes the challenge from the Mercs. Ramon crosses the line, goes second fastest, 1:38.4. So we return our attention to the McLaren, crosses the line, goes second fastest onto the front row. And Luca into the 1:36 as well, 1:36.9. And now on board with Striker as he definitely enjoying a bit of connection there. MOK joins him on the front row, 1:37.0. And it's down to what Striker can do now in terms of lap time. He's really enjoying that connection. As he heads down the main straight. Wow, the connection is working wonders for him today. Jeez. We're into the final corner. Where can Striker put his car? Is it onto pole? Crosses the line. And it's not pole. It's fourth fastest only. 37.2. That is not close to pole at all. As Ramon cuts that corner there. Does invalidate his lap time. I'm sure he knew what he was doing. Oh, Ramon's on an in lap. Of course he is. As Max down the back straight, getting a slipstream from his teammate. There we go. Mercedes will move to the left-hand side before the braking zone, I assume. There we go. Max finds his braking point. And have the Mercs pulled off the slipstream, the toe effect. Where can Max put his car? It's only fifth fastest. As P Pocket's the last one to set a lap time. Goes sixth fastest, so Juno just coming out the pits there. Probably only got one set of tyres. So your current top three is Luca in the Williams on pole position, followed by MKL and Valid. Striker, fourth fastest only, followed by the Mercedes and Max, PP Pocket, RD Gamer, Uncle Grandpa Funny Moments, Ramon, and then Juno yet to start a lap time here. And interesting to see that Striker almost, well, 3/10 down on pole position. He set the fastest lap. Luca has looked pacey in every session. He's been there or thereabouts for Striker. But for Striker to only be fourth is quite the conundrum. I assume maybe his connection is playing. Well, yeah, you did. I think that's what happened, Johnny. So Juno looking to get a lap time on the board. I think Max has just given Ramon a slipstream. He has, but he pulls into the pits. Thought he was doing a flying lap, but anyway. Here comes Juno to do his first flying lap of the session. I swear I've said this a lot about Juno this afternoon. He's getting a lot of TV time. As the car he's getting way more comfortable with the car through this first sector. Saw his Q1 lap, he actually put it into the wall on his first flying lap, which almost cost him a shot Q1 exit as the Mercedes was very wide off the circuit there. And I wouldn't say gave Juno any favours, parking a bit on the apex there. Did try and get out the way best he could. But I wouldn't say it was the best moving out of the way I've ever seen of a car. But he carries on his lap. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in this session. Juno, I assume the team would have sent him out fueled up for more than one flying lap. So we head through the chicane. There's people heading out on out laps, looking to improve on their own lap times to move themselves further up the grid. Juno doing their own lap time here. They've got time for a lap, another cool down lap, and then a quick lap to end the session, which I assume is what he will be doing. Comes around the final corner now. I think this is going to be a decent lap from Juno's first lap of qualifying. 9th fastest. Will need to improve. 37.9 only for Juno, but he will be doing another lap. As the Ferrari of Max, I think, is going for a flying lap as well. Yeah, I'm sorry, Johnny. I've tried. It doesn't work. Max lovely through this first sector. Wow, the rear end just stepping out as he holds it from a slide. He's going to have to abandon that lap. He's invalidated anyway. Sorry, the Mercedes of Max. I'm doing Crofty today. So he moves out of the way of Valid, who's on an out lap. And I think that was Juno just giving him a bit of something there. So Max just losing the rear end there. And that could have been the end of his session. Cheers, Johnny. Appreciate it. So Luca on their last flying lap. And we'll ride on board because this Williams and the driver has been incredible this afternoon. Second fastest in Q1. And he's on another outlap. He's got 1:30 to go. He will get to the line in time. MLK, on the other hand, is on his flying lap. So it's going to be challenges. It's definitely not decided who's going to get pole this afternoon. And it doesn't even matter who's going to get pole because I can assure you the race is going to be something else to watch. So we head through the right-left chicane. Doesn't invalidate there. Running very nicely over the curbs to make sure he doesn't invalidate. Down the back straight. He's 3/10 up in the middle sector alone. That is good from MKL. As everyone is improving their lap times. I'll make sure we check on everyone before the end of the session. MLK can do one more lap if he wants to. And here comes MLK. Will this be provisional pole? It's provisional pole for the Alfa Romeo of MLK, a 1:36.6. And now that is for everyone to chase. As I think the Mercedes is close. Sorry, Ramon close to finishing their lap. 8/10 up in the middle sector for Ramon. Where can he put his Mercedes? 8th fastest only. He's going to start another flying lap, I'm sure. He won't want to start 8th. Juno up on his time. But here comes Striker Boy, the man everyone thought was going to get pole. He comes across the line now. It's only 3rd for Striker Boy, and that's it. And I think Valid's put it in a wall. I think Valid, if we ride on board with the thing, Valid has binned it into the wall. And he will start P5 at a minimum this afternoon. Ramon on a flying lap, but so is Luca. Juno just finishing their flying lap. They crossed the line. It's only 10th fastest for Juno. It's disappointment from the Rebel camp. Not getting pole and only 10th. But Luca could do something about MLK's fastest lap. PP Pockets is 4th fastest. Luca doesn't have the best middle sector. He's not improving on his lap time. He needs to find it all in the final sector. As he comes around the final corner. Can he improve on his own lap? He's out of ERS. He's used all his deployment. He crosses the line. And it's only second. Oh, but not by a lot. So, Luca can't get pole. Ramon spun it in the final corner. He won't improve on his lap time. And it is pole position for the first time this season for MLK, followed by Luca, and followed by Striker Boy. Then comes P-Pockets Valid, who crashed on his final flying lap. RD Gamer, Max, Ramon, Uncle Grandpa Funny Modes, and Juno is your top 10. An exciting end to qualifying session. Didn't think... And no one saw that one coming. A very entertaining qualifying session, and we still have a race to go. Still have a race to go. I think we just having a look to see if there might be a restart here. We're trying to work out if people are getting into the session. Okay. But there is your starting grid for the inaugural Swift Tier 2 Miami Grand Prix. So there is your top 10, ladies and gentlemen. 2/10 separating MKL from the Luca from the pole sitter MKL, then followed by Striker, P-Pockets Valid, RD Gamer, Max, Ramon, Uncle Grandpa Funny Moments, and Juno. Your top 10 in this session. Just waiting to see if everyone will be getting back into the session, because also we lost a few people due to connection. And there is a race coming up. It might be just waiting on to see if there might be a restart for people that disconnected if they can't get back in. Just wait to see if that will happen. But very entertaining qualifying session. I did not expect the pole sitter we got. But MKL deserves it, put in a good lap right at the end of the session. And it looks like we are going to be starting this race as we head for 5 red lights. And it's lights out. And away we go here at the Miami International Circuit. Bad start from the McLaren, but great start from MKL. It's next turn 1, as there's definitely going to be a restart as people go slamming into turn 1. Both Mercedes knocking themselves out of the race. And yeah, we're going to be getting a restart here. But that's a classic Swift start. Expect to see it in the next race. And it all started as I thought it would. As we will just be restarting the session to get people in. But expect that start next time as well. As a classic Swift start right there. I didn't get an announcement to restart, which was helpful for me. But it's okay. I worked it out myself. Restart's happening because I believe people got disconnected in that session because the game is buggy. So it's just allowing people to get back into the session so we can have a restart. So once again, you've got to listen to me, Phil. I don't have the qualifying results saved, so I can't tell you. I can't remember. I know your top three being MKL and the others. That is the reason why we're restarting. Read the chat. I assume I'll be getting an invite shortly. And we can get the race underway. That was a long qualifying session as well. In the wet, you expect it to be... It was entertaining, that's for sure. Entertaining qualifying session, but a long one. And we got a 29 lap race coming up for us, for everyone, and I'm sure we'll be enjoying that. With MKL starting on pole position. Just waiting for an invite to get back into the session once it's been recreated, because it wouldn't be Swift Motorsport without a restart, would it, everyone? You know, you don't turn up to Swift unless you expect a restart. As man, it is incredibly hot today. Everyone done in turn one. You damn right they did. That was quite the send into turn one for everyone. I just thought the Mercedes had forgotten their brake pedal, but I realised what was going on. So that was good. We get the restart on. I've got my fan on now, so I don't die of overheat, which is also nice, because I am very hot. Yeah, well, I can't comment. I can't, you know, I'm unbiased, so I can't comment on that comment. But it does seem that way sometimes. As the lobby is still being created. Because sometimes you just can't have too much of a starting stream soon. So I'm sure the race is going to be quite fascinating. Into weather to start, changeable conditions, very much a change to dry tyres will be interesting during the race. Safety cars, crashes, we're going to have the whole shebang here around Miami. Probably very similar to the race we had in T1, but a much, much fuller grid than we had in T1. And as we rejoin the lobby now, to get our 29 lap race started. By started, I mean we're still probably about 10 minutes away from starting. But, you know, you've listened to my voice already for has it been an hour? It has been an hour. My God. That qualifying session took ages. So, you can't see this, but everyone's kind of just rejoining the session, getting their cars sorted out. I'm sure the grid will be sorted out momentarily as well. And the only other thing is, just, I'm sure you guys saw it at the start of that race, no formation lap, because as if you've played the F1 game, you'll know the formation lap is completely bugged at the moment if the host of the lobby is also driving, but I think it's also bugged normally. So, no formation lap, which means everyone at the start of that race will have freezing cold tyres, which will make it 10 times more interesting as we head into turn 1. Because turn 1 at Miami is dangerous. Well, it's supposed to be on. I'm not going to do that, Typhoon. Do they warm them up? Oh, they set them to warm. I thought they were meant to be cold. I thought the game was just bugged. Well, it is bugged. I'm sorry, Typhoon. Maybe if a Haas wins, I'll do it, alright? That's fair. So, 16 out of the, I think, 18 drivers. Still joining the session, waiting on, well, as we were waiting before, waiting on Striker Boy. So, yeah, bad for spamming emotes. You probably put like 3 in, which is probably why it decided to kill you. Yeah, see, look, more than 3. Oh, that's a crime punishable by death. Oh, we put 6 in. Oh, that's even worse. How dare you? Have him banned from my chat. We now have 2 spectators. Why is there 2 spectators in this session? Is there meant to be 2 spectators in this session? Uh, 10 billion, Dragon. Don't know where this other spectators come from. I'm sure we'll find out shortly. As the waiting game continues here at Swift Motorsport. We're just waiting for who's not in yet. We've got both Astons, both Williams, both Hasses, but one Alpha, both Mercs. So I think everyone that was coming back is back. You don't feel ignored. I'm refusing to read your comments. Well, that's what I was wondering. I don't know who the other spectator is. Is he meant to be in the session? Who knows? Only Johnny knows because he's the owner of the session. So I'll also be, after the session, interviewing the top 3 drivers. As much as I'd love to interview everyone, that's not going to happen. So just going to interview the top 3. So if you'd like to be interviewed after the race, go into the general VC and you'll be dragged into the com box and we can have a quick interview. Dragon, you have to finish top 3. I'm not interviewing unless you do. It's the rules. We've been over this. Dragon, I get to choose who I drag in here. And if you don't finish the podium, I won't drag you in. So, Uncle Grandpa Funny Moments is back in, just joining the Ferrari team. And Wins is also in the Ferraris, back in. So, I think almost everyone is back in. We're just missing Striker Boy, I believe. To qualify... Sorry, to join the session. I might as well show you the lobby now. So, 18 drivers in, still waiting on Striker. I assume he's coming back, if he's fixed his internet. Otherwise, that great qualifying Striker's done won't matter. Apparently he's coming back in a minute, so you will have to wait another minute while I talk more bollocks to keep you all entertained until that happens. Which I'm sure will happen, well, within a minute, hopefully. No, I said a win for Haas. If I will say the word if Haas get a win. Talk more about qualifying. Well, there's not really a lot to talk about. We know our pole sitter. We know Striker had a disappointing session. He could have been on pole. Probably should have been on pole. But MKL put in a brilliant lap to put it on pole. Luca second as well. He did a great lap as well. And in terms of other drivers, Uncle Grandpa Funnyman's got into Q3. He had a decent lap. The Mercedes looked better, but still probably not where they'd like to be. They just didn't look as confident in the wet conditions as they were in the dry in Bahrain. But again, very different circuit. As for some reason, there's been 2 AI added to the game. No idea why that's happened. They're now gone. As we continue to wait for the elusive Striker Boy. Mist did get into Q2, that is true. He didn't get into Q3 because he had a spin in Q2. And he also just didn't have the pace to get into Q3, unfortunately. I'm sure he would have loved to. But he didn't. So, but from 14th on the grid, in these conditions, anything can happen. I doubt the top 3 that we have right now will stay the top 3 we have at the end of the race. It'll all change around. But for that to happen, we actually need to start the race. So that will happen, I'm sure, momentarily. When Striker Boy gets his internet connection away from the Hungarian GP. Well, I could see someone... I'm sure someone will dive turn 1. It happened yesterday in T1. It almost caused a massive accident. I won't name any names. But it happened. But that was in full wet conditions. This is inter conditions, which is different. And there he is, the elusive Striker Boy is in the session. And hopefully it is now time for the Miami GP. Everyone getting ready. 3 people are ready up. Can we get more than 3 to ready up? And now we might get a ready. They've got 5 now. As here we go. They've been told to ready up. It's about to start. It's about to kick off. Or I thought it was, and then everyone stopped readying up. And we might finally get a race. It's only been an hour and 30 minutes, but we're about to start the Miami GP. Get your prediction in for the race winner. I don't think it's an easy one to predict, considering the track, the conditions. But I think anyone could win it, really. Genuinely, I do. And I will do my best to try and keep up with all of the action on track, but I can't promise everyone will get some screen time. Just because of how many cars there are, and yeah, we'll try and keep with... Try and show everyone we can. but no promises. So we're just waiting for players to connect. Striker Boy, Unfi, Ardy Gamer, and Dragon looking to connect. Ardy Gamer's in. Dragon's in. 2 more to join, Unfi and Striker. There'll be a countdown timer, surely, in a minute for people that can't join. God, it does feel like dead air sometimes, doesn't it? Jesus. Right, oh, Striker's in, right. We're waiting for Unfi now. As much as I love hearing the theme music that's not copyrighted, I'm getting slightly bored of it. And you guys want to see a race, and loading times are the death of us all. This loading time is going to be the death of me in a minute. And for just taking his time to load into the session. If he doesn't join, then he'll probably have to leave so everyone else can do. As the waiting game continues for the Miami GP. It might start. Well, the music stopped, which means we've actually been in this loading screen long enough for the music to loop. Well, surely to start this race, if he can't load in, he's going to have to be removed or remove himself. Because otherwise, we're going to be in this loading screen forever. As much as I like to say everyone should race, if it's not loading, people want to see a race. We can't see it forever. And we can't really afford another restart because we're already behind on time. And there we go, we finally get loaded in. It's actually in now. It does take its time, but it's now in. We are about to head down to the 5 red lights for what I'm sure will be an entertaining Miami GP. The race is about to start in 20 seconds time. People are just sorting out strategies, final couple of changes for the Miami circuit. Who will be running the right setup? Who's got the wrong setup? But we're about to find out. as we look to 5 red lights. It's lights out, and away we go. And I think we're missing one player, the Alfa Romeo, from the start of this Grand Prix. So we head into turn 1 as Luca takes the lead. Pickpockets into second, followed by Ramon in third. Then comes Valid Striker. RD Gamer Juno moves himself up to 6th place. He's going battling with the McLaren there, as battles happening all up and down the grid. As sector 1, already a yellow flag there behind. But in terms of the lead of the race, Striker Boy challenging Valid around the outside. Lovely move from Striker Boy there, as he moves himself up into as there's already a yellow flag, and there might already be a safety car, as it looks like the Williams has been taken out of the race. Heading down the back straight, and it is a virtual safety car here, not a full safety car. And I think Valid has just kept in front of Striker Boy, and that was important for his race to get there. Lukey got a brilliant start onto P1, followed by Pickpockets, Ramon. There's your predicted pit stop strategy. If the Inters are tyre to stick with until lap 14. So VSC right now, if you guys don't know, the VSC, when it's out, you have to reduce your speed just under a virtual safety car. As the safety car is in, and we get back racing again. Striker's lost a lot of time here to Valid. And Juno close to RD Gamer, but there's changes at the back going on. Johnny completely losing. He's taken out the Ferrari, I think, as the Ferrari goes straight into the wall. And he's going to have to be boxing there. The other Ferrari in the pits as well, and it's double disaster for Ferrari here. Not even changing his front wing, just wanted to put on a new set of tyres. Wins is going to be wasting a lot of time in the pit stop, as he is also out with a front wing. So Luca leads from Pickpockets, and then comes Ramon. There you can see on the left hand side who's gained and lost the most positions at the start of this race. Ramon has gained 4, Johnny gained 5, but he's definitely involved in a very strange incident with the Ferraris there. As we return to Ramon, the closest battle on track right now, as he chases down Pickpockets. Definitely cuts a corner there. And Luca and Pickpockets also getting close to each other. Sure, they want to just keep their pace, but Pickpockets possibly already looking for the overtake down the back straight. It's not close enough to make a move on this occasion, and there is once again the predicted pit stop strategy powered by AWS. As Pickpockets gets a lovely exit out of that final corner. Striker and Juno battling away, but this is the race for the lead. Will he dive down the inside? He won't. He's close though, as the ball of the Mercedes just goes almost into the back there of the Haas. And I think Striker and Juno have swapped positions as Max... No, the pressure is the Red Bulls, they touch! There was definite contact there between the two Red Bull drivers. As Dragon is in the pits. Max tried to go around the outside, Striker couldn't slow it down, and definitely hit his teammate Juno. And is that that's gonna cause some tension in the team there. As he goes down the inside of Max, lovely move from Striker. See on board the helicopter camera. So head down the back straight. Striker just behind the Mercedes there of Max. He's not going to be able to pull off the overtake. Not close enough down the main straight. But Juno and Striker maybe getting a bit too close to each other there. So we now look back to the battle for P1, and Pickpocket's already going to look to take the lead. And Luca has no defence on it. And I think even Ramon's going to have a go. Luca losing pace down the back straight. As Pickpocket takes the lead, Luca brakes late. Thinks about a dive, I think, back on the Haas. As the Haas pulls across, so does the Williams. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. It's a close battle between the top three here. As Luca will look to take back his second place. Striker Boy already getting a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. And Luca now sits behind Ramon, but he's already lost 2 positions, and the Haas of P-Pockets takes the lead. As Luca looks to go around the outside in wet conditions. It's a risky move, or as he almost loses the back end. Ramon gives him the room and respect there. Brilliant move from the Williams driver. And the gap, you can see, starting to form. But here is Valid on the scene, looking to get Ramon. As Striker Boy just seems to be going backwards in this race. But the Mercedes getting such an acceleration off that corner as the Williams and the Merc go side by side. So they're having racing. All this battling is letting P-Pockets drive away into the distance. And Valid will look for another opportunity for a move. So there's no overtaking to this tight, twisty nature of the middle sector. As we head down the back straight, I think Luca will probably be not running the straight line speed that others will be running. Maybe a higher downforce setup to cope with the wet conditions. Misty now getting his own 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. But look at that, P-Pockets 2 seconds the gap out in front. In terms of the wet conditions, it is still dry. Here's Juno and Max are going wheel to wheel. Max getting in front. Misty and Striker having a go at each other. And Miss just losing out in that battle. Foxy getting interested in a points finish. As Juno now behind Max. Got to chase him down again. Valid getting interested in this battle between the Williams, the Merc, for second place. P-Pockets driving off into the disc. Well, not exactly driving off. It's only 1.5 seconds now. I'm sure Luca will come back at him. But now this is the chance for the Mercedes. He's got the straight line. So he's got no ERS though. He's used all his battery as he looks to dive down the inside of the Williams. He's got the inside line. He pushes the Williams off the circuit. Luca is not going to like that. He's going to keep his foot in though. As he looks to go all the way around the outside in a brilliant racing. This is between the Mercedes and the Williams. As definitely the Merc ran him completely off track. Striker Boy has left the session. His internet is valid. Let's put it into a wall. And he spun it all on his own. And a chance of a podium finish is crumbling right now. He needs to take a pit stop. As RD Gamer will easily overtake Valid into the final corner. McLaren now into 4th place. Valid surely pulling into the pits. And that is huge disappointment for himself and the AlphaTauri team. Junior moves himself up place. Misty up into 9th place after Striker disconnects, and Foxy will just follow him through. And unfortunately for Striker Boy, probably the end of the session is interesting. Misty pulling into the pits though. I don't know if he's got front wing damage. He pulls into the pits, none the same. As Vad is still getting his front wing changed, unfortunately for him. As Johnny goes around the outside of Striker Boy, up into 9th place. Striker's still in the points for now, but unfortunately that AI will not be doing him any favours. Misty, yet must have had a broken front wing, coming for a new set of intermediate tyres. And this is our race leader, P-Pockets. Currently running first. 1.6 seconds the gap between himself and Luca. As Misty gets in front of Karma in the Alfa Romeo, but he comes back at him. There's actually quite a battle going on there. And Karma loses out on this occasion. But looks to come back at him down the main straight and almost puts it straight to a wall. And he does put it into a wall. Commentator's curse coming into full effect there on the Alfa Romeo. And it's caused, I think, A safety car. It is. It's a full safety car here at Miami. It'd be interesting to see what the drivers do. I think most of them will probably stay out. It's not dry enough for slicks to think about slicks yet, and they can definitely run these intermediates a bit longer in the race. So the safety car is out. Juno and others will close up to the pack. And that is going to absolutely ruin the gap that P-Pocket had gained on the rest of the field. He was running comfortably in the lead of the race. And now he's under a safety car. Unfi pulls into the pits under a safety car. I don't think he'll be boxing for dries. That's for sure. Oh, he's got a broken front wing. As Karma gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Misty also pulls into the pits again. Is that another front wing change for Misty? It is. And luckily it's a safety car. And that will help the Ferraris out greatly, because they have not had a good session so far. And it'll be interesting to see what goes on. The Ferrari here, another set of intermediates goes on the Ferrari. So there you go. You can see our race leader, top 10. Just read it out for you here on lap 7 of the Miami GP. It's currently P-Pockets who leads from Luca, Ramon, RD Gamer, Max, Juno, Chris GLT, Faxi, Johnny, and Striker Boy. Striker Boy, the only one in the top 10 with a penalty. Safety car was caused by Karma. He had a spin after battle with Misty, hits the wall, unfortunately debris all over the track. I had to have a full safety car for it. We'll just quickly have a look at tyre life for everyone. So, everyone on 6-lap old intermediates. The top 10 haven't pitted. Actually, top 11 haven't pitted. Valid has pitted, broke his front wing, spun on his own. Dragon, Unfi, Uncle Grandpa Funny Motes, Misty, Karma, and Wins all pitted for new intermediate tyres. Some of them also had to pit for front wing changes. This safety car will probably be out for a few laps now, because we just want to wait for the rest of the pack to group up. And in terms of penalties, Striker Boy has a 3-second time penalty. Misty has a 3-second time penalty, and Karma has a 5-second time penalty. And there you go. In terms of position changes, P-Pockets gaining 1 position at the start of the race, and then obviously taking the lead. Luca lost his only position. Round has gone up 4. Big improvements is Johnny's gone up 9. Striker losing 8 positions. Not been a good start from him. Our Grandpa Funny Moments got into Q3 and dropped 7 places at the start of this race. So for P-Pockets, it's going to be a bit annoying for him because he was comfortably leading this Grand Prix. He had about a 2-second advantage on the car behind, and now he's got to do a safety car restart. I think Karma might have just had a bit of a spin there. Definitely seemed a bit slower through that section. So we wait for the safety car to come in. Will be this lap, or will be the next lap. Might have another lap of safety car. Nope, I think the safety car is in this lap. So pay attention to the tyre wear. Pay attention to the times. P-Pockets will want to take this as slow as he possibly can. Everyone, look at that weaving to get temperature in the intermediate tyres. Juno has a collision under the safety car. I think possibly brake testing Chris GLT. That's probably going to get removed. Seems a bit harsh under a safety car. As Pickpocket still looks to take his safety car restart slowly. And I think he's gone now, and he might have caught Luca a bit napping there. As we're back under racing conditions, Pickpocket's leads from Luca, Ramon, RD Gamer, Max. Your top 5, changing positions between Dragon and Unfi. A bit of a battle going on towards the back of the grid. Unfi almost gets spun around. He collides with Dragon. He looks to go all the way around the outside of Dragon. Striker getting overtaken. He's obviously under AI. And I think there's been a collision. And it's once again Karma and the Ferrari of wins coming together on the safety car restart there. As Max and RD Gamer, McLaren, Mercedes, McLaren going wheel to wheel down the back straight. As Max moves himself up into Max into 4th place, round RD Gamer down into 5th. Luca did have a challenge there on Pickpockets, but didn't get the move done. As the grid is so close together, that's a corner cut from Luca. He runs completely over the curb. Ramon, we know how quick the Mercedes are in a straight line. Moves to the left for Luca. Can't really do a lot, but squeeze them as close as he can to the wall. As we head into the braking zone, is Max going to get involved? He won't. Juno looks to make the overtake on RD Gamer. RD Gamer on the outside, Juno on the inside. It's going to be a straight drag to the line. And RD Gamer just seems to have the power down the back straight. But Juno's got ERS. He's going to come back at him here. And into turn 1, he takes 5th place as the battle for the podium swaps back around as Ramon once again. Oh, what's this collision there between those two? As Luca goes all the way around the outside. Ramon now on the outside, Luca on the inside. As once again, they battle for the podium spot. Max looking to get involved as well. As Unfi, I think, had a bit of an incident. He's dropped down a few places. There's quite the battles going on. Uncle trying to get past the AI of Striker Boy. It's a shame for Striker. What could have been in this race. As Mist also gets past him, and so does Dragon. As the battle for the podium carries on. Luca back down the inside, but the switchback from Ramon. Let's go all the way around the outside. Luca parking his car perfectly there to deny him the switchback. So once again, Pickpocket driving off into the distance. No problems for him currently. Dragon Lolly gets a 3-second time penalty. As Ramon now going to switch to the inside. He wants the inside line for the final corner. As we ride on board from Max, you can see his teammate, but he's got a bit too deep, Ramon. And that allows Luca to come back at him. He rides that curb nicely, but once again, Ramon gets a good exit. As RD Gamer drops down a few places. As Ramon pulls to the inside. Luca looks to go all the way around the outside. Ramon definitely just completely understood it. That's allowing Max to go all the way around the outside of his teammate. Oh, he's colliding with Luca. And the Mercs swap places. Ramon goes past. Juno's going to get involved now as the Mercs, well, sort of bully their way into 2nd and 3rd there. As Luca, oh, he's done it. He's spun. He's hit the wall. He's broken his front wing. He's pulled in front of Valid. Oh, Luca. And that is not what you want to see. Luca hitting the wall, causing his own problems, but then causing Valid another set of problems. And that will surely be investigated by the stewards. I'm sure he's frustrated in that cockpit, but you can't be pulling in front of people. As Juno chases down the two Mercs. Mercedes, Red Bull was a pivotal battle last year where the Mercedes won out in the end. I'm sure Juno, unfortunately the only Red Bull still running in this race basically, is looking to take as many points as he can this afternoon. But in terms of the race win, PP Pockets 4 seconds up the road. running a great race for himself and for the Haas team. As Valid moves himself back up into the points ahead of the Ferrari. And this train is being held up by Luca, who surely has to pit, and he does. And unfortunately, unless there's another safety car, that could be a what-if race for Luca. Valid doesn't pit. I think he's got front wing damage. He might have a bit of end plate damage. He does. But he chooses to stay out. Fresh set of inters. New front wing for Luca. And it's definitely a race of what could have been for the Williams driver. P-Pocket's lead is 3.4 seconds ahead of Max. And then comes Ramon, 2 seconds behind him. And then Juno, 9/10 behind Ramon. With that 5-second time penalty, he will serve it in the next pit stop, I'm sure. As the Ferrari gets past the AlphaTauri. And now Misty looking to make it a double points finish for Haas. As I think Karma's had another spin in the final corner. As Misty looks to try and find a way round. Can he do the switchback? It's not close enough to switch back. Just looking to keep it on the circuit. As the battle for 7th, 6th and 5th carries on. As another spin from Karma. He's having a torrid time of it this afternoon. And he will be coming up to the lap. Race leader will come up to lap him shortly. So his day will probably get worse. As Faxi 5/10 behind RD Gamer here, and this is the closest battles we have on track right now. As Valid has to pit for a new front wing. At the moment, the rain doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. Still intermediate weather out there. There's a very understeery there from the Aston Martin. That's going to involve Johnny in this battle. And he gets a much better exit than the Aston Martin. How hard does the Aston Martin want to defend this? Seems like that Aston's got great straight line speed. Johnny doesn't have any ERS to spare. Striker Boy is back in the game. Oh, Johnny hits the back of Foxy. Could have been a race ender if he's got to be more careful about it. You can see Foxy just struggling with the rear end, but Johnny is also struggling. One of these intermediates is starting to wear away. It's still raining out on circuit, I believe. So, still got to hold these tyres. I assume a lot of these drivers will be trying to hold out until the slick tyre. If the rain is going to stop, which I believe it's scheduled to. That could be very interesting towards the end of this race. As for Red Bull, Juno running in 4th. It's probably 3 seconds ahead of RD Gamer. About 1.6 seconds behind Ramon. I think, once again, Karma not having a great race. Currently 48 seconds behind 16th and another spin there. Does happen sometimes, unfortunately. But this man P-Pocket's 2.6 second. The gap is coming down. Max is closing it slowly. But I don't think he'll close it enough to probably have a dive bomb for another at least 5 laps, I'd say. Juno, on the other hand, is running quite nicely for P4. Looking to score probably the only points Rebel will score this afternoon, unless there's a bit of a miracle for Striker Boy. Comes through the middle sector nicely on those curbs. It can't close down Ramon just yet. So Merck on currently for a double podium finish, which would help their standings in the Constructors. And for Ramon, would definitely help his lead in the Drivers' title. For Aston Martin, currently running 6th and 13th, they'll be looking to score more points to help their leaders. Valid gets a 3-second time penalty, and once again, another spin for Karma. But P-Pockets is closing in on the lap car. He will move out the way for the race leader. Blue flags are waving, and he does get completely off circuit. Good job from the Alfa Romeo there, just to make sure he doesn't cause any incidents, because you don't want to be, if you're a back marker, you don't want to be involved in an incident. It just sucks. Striker putting into the pits, I'd imagine, to retire from this Grand Prix. It's been a horrid Grand Prix from him. Karma does retire. I think he might have hit the wall, actually, which possibly has caused a full safety car, and he has hit the wall. And has that caused a full safety car, or is it a VSC? So Striker actually not retiring, getting a new set of intermediates. So changing the strat there, and that safety car has come out probably at the right time for the leaders. And now the leaders have got a conundrum. If the rain is not stopping for at least another 5-6 laps, they're going to have to make a pit stop for another set of intermediate tyres. They can't take them to the end of the Grand Prix. In terms of tyre wear for the leaders, they've been on this tyre since lap 1. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're all pulling into the pits on this lap for a set of inters. And Max does. The leader, P-Pockets, chooses not to. And as you can see there, Ramon, my God, that man is holding the pack up. He wants to double stack, but he doesn't want to lose any time. Clever from Mercedes, a bit of a dirty tacket in my book. But, oh, he doesn't actually. He's just having to slow down. I thought they were going to double stack. He just wants to slow him down so that Max can still come out in second place. So the ultimate team game being played there from Mercedes. And there is a few more pit stops going on. Aldi Gamer, Unfi, Chris and Johnny in the pits. All for a new set of intermediate tyres. And for Max, they've really called a bit of a strategy here. Now, obviously, Ramon holding up the pack there was the plan. Ramon, on a new set of intermediate tyres, does he think that that will give him the advantage to take the lead ahead of P-Pockets? Now, 0 lap intermediate tyres will be quicker than 15 lap intermediate tyres, sorry. That's always going to be the case. And the question that I think is on everyone's lips is, have Haas called the right strategy here? Do they think it's going to dry up in time for soft tyres? Because if it doesn't dry up, they will still have to pit. As Mist, what's happened to Mist? I think he's... Oh, I think Mist has binned it. On his own, under a safety car. And, oh... For the Haas team and for Misty, he's not going to want to watch that one back, I'm sure of it. I assume warming up his tyres. And he's just dropped it. Hitting the wall. Or maybe he's been taken out, I'm not sure. As Grandpa Funny Moment pulls into the pits there. Safety car. Ramon is also retired. Has Ramon done the same thing? Ramon hitting the wall under the safety car, I think. What has happened in these last few laps? We've lost Misty, and now we've lost one of the people that could be considered a race challenger in this race. Ramon. He's been trying to warm up his tyres. Last time's race winner is out. of the Miami GP in the most bizarre circumstances. I honestly didn't see what had happened. I assume he's done the similar thing to Misty and has just dropped it and put it into a wall. And now it's down to Max for Mercedes to pick up the pieces. Both. So, Max, obviously on the fresher intermediate tyre. Luca, Valid, RD Gamer, Chris, Johnny, Unfi, Uncle, Grandpa Funny Modes, all on new tyres, and including that Striker Boy is on new intermediate tyres. Everyone inside the top 6, apart from Max, is on old intermediates. They think staying out is the best chance to win this race, to hold out for dry tyres. Max is boxed under the safety car, hoping that he can win the race on the intersection. And the safety car comes in, and we're about to find out who has made the correct strategy call here. As everyone, and I'm sure for Peapod, I don't know what's going through his mind right now. He needs to do this as late as he can. He needs to catch out Max, because Max is going to be on him from the word go. As we head round the final corner, safety car is into the pits. It's down to when P-Pockets wants to go. As he goes then, and I think he has caught Max a bit napping there. As he uses all his ERS as we head down into turn 1. There's overtakes going on. Dragon and Foxy going wheel to wheel. Dragon takes 4th place. Juno going to be watching this battle at the front, and you can see the extra grip that Max has as he looks to overtake the race leader. Those extra grips on those new intermediate tyres. Luca finding the same. He's back into this race. After his incident, I'm sure he'll be looking to get back into this very quickly. He's got the fresh tyres as well. Max, maybe not making the dent that he'd want into P-Pockets. Juno holding firm in 3rd, but here comes Dragon. It's only 3 tenths behind him as he got to slow it down as he almost takes out Juno, goes to the back of him almost. In terms of other people, Striker Boy making his way up into 12th, or is he? He's wheel to wheel currently with Unfi as Unfi keeps it going. Striker's still very much struggling with internet connection. So Unfi gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting as a spin for Johnny. There must have been a collision there between a few people. Unfi looking to take 9th place, but the battle for the lead continues here into the final corner. Look at the grip that Max has compared to P-Pockets. And this could be the change of the race lead. The acceleration he has out of that corner. He's going to go up the inside. Strikers left the session. Dive down the inside for Max. Can P-Pockets brave it around the outside? He surely doesn't have the grip to. And he doesn't. Max takes the lead here in Miami. And I think if you look at your screens, the rain has stopped around the Miami International Circuit. It is no longer raining. And now it's down to, can Max build a lead to get himself in front for the soft tyre runners? The softs will come out towards the end of the Grand Prix. There's still 10 laps to go. And still a lot to be decided. And I wonder, has Mercedes called a blinder or have they not? They did take the race lead, which is what they needed. They needed that to happen for the strategy to pay off. As RD Gamer gets in front of Luca. Obviously, Luca's slightly on older tyres compared to RD Gamer. Striker Boy's back in. He's had such a mixed bag of a race. It's Karma now leads the session. As there you go, Max 1 second out in front on P-Pockets. There comes Juno, Dragon, Faxi, and Valid. Valid got himself back into this race as well. And when will we see the first people braving the dry tyre. As Max, of course, sets the fastest lap of the race. You'd expect that on a new set of tyres. On a drying Miami circuit. As Valid looks to take 5th place off of Foxy. The new Inter's working well. As he does take 5th place. Foxy's still looking for the grip. Striker left the session again. I think Striker's had a day to forget here around Miami. Max. 1.3 seconds the gap out in front. Followed by P-Pockets then Juno. Dragon still trying to close in on Juno to get a podium. His first podium for T2. And in terms of Luca and Valid, they've got themselves back into this race. And it's been a hard one for them. Valid obviously causing himself issues earlier in the race, crashing on his own. And he had a collision with collision with Luca. As Luca looks to battle it out between Foxy and RD Gamer. They're going wheel to wheel through the middle section. You wouldn't expect that. As down the inside, there's no way that Luca would make a move there. And he just should have bided his time. No way he was going to make that move. And now he's got to stick behind for a few more laps. If he had just followed them through, he would have had a much better exit. And speaking of people that might get a position, here comes Valid, looks to dive down. Oh, but it's brilliant defence from Dragon. He's going to try to go around the outside. Dragon on the slightly more worn tyres. As Max gets another fast lap of the Grand Prix. As it's a lovely exit from Valid. Can he take 4th place off of Dragon? He can. Dragon just doesn't have the grip to fight. I'm finding out it's just the first lap of the race. Luca into the pits. Is this for a set of dry tyres? No, it's another set of intermediates. It's an interesting choice there from Luca. As Mist now has left the session, but Mist was already out of the race. It's an interesting strategy from Luca. Would you have just not risked the soft tyres? It doesn't look very... Well, it's drying out there as DRS is enabled, and Luca has made a huge mistake. Why did he not pit for the set of dry tyres? And Williams and Luca might have thrown the race away here. DRS enabled, that usually means it's time for dries. As Valid is still very much in the hunt for a podium finish. There is penalties. We'll have a look at those in a second. So 5 seconds for Juno, 3 for Valid, 3 for Dragon, 6 for Unfi, 3 for Johnny and 6 for Striker. Whoops. And I'm sure people will be pulling into the pits now. And if you're the race leader, do you pull in first or do you pull in second? And he pulls in now. The race leader, Max, pulls into the pits for a set of dry tyres. Will it be the softs or will it be the mediums? It'll be an interesting mix, I'm sure. Oh, there we go, Max. But he's going to... I think Max... In fact, he stays out. Max is going to have to wait. Oh, he just gets out in front of Juno. But will he get out in front of P-Pockets? P-Pockets needs a good pit stop here. But Max pulls out. Few people staying out here. Both McLarens and Foxy staying out. Max is the net race leader on a set of soft tyres, followed by P-Pockets, then Valid. Dragon, Juno had to serve his 5-second time penalty. So interestingly, Valid set medium tyres. Maybe he thinks they'll last longer. Juno set for softs, Jake Boy softs, Uncle softs, Unfi also mediums, Chris softs, Luca onto the softs, Striker also onto the softs. As Foxy and Arnie get ready battling for the lead of the race, the track is utterly dry. They're on their set of intermediate tyres, and they've surely got a box. They can't stay on these inters until the end of the race. Both McLarens will be heading towards the pit stop now. They're going to have to double stack, and that's going to lose Johnny loads of time. As Foxy looks to take the lead back off of Arnie Gamer. As he goes round the outside on those set of intermediates that I'm sure have got no grip left in me whatsoever. And yes, they will both pull into the pits now. So Max will take the lead of this Grand Prix, barring any major incidents for himself. So Johnny set the fast lap of the race in the pit lane. That's quite an impressive feat. Johnny stayed out. Why has Johnny stayed out? What is this strategy from McLaren? They could... Oh, I think he's got a 5-second time limit, but he could have double stacked, surely. I don't think McLaren done the right thing. Look at the lack of grip that Johnny has on those interstyles. He hits the wall! And that was guaranteed to happen. As Max takes the lead of the Grand Prix. McLaren. That was not the correct strategy call. It was all about strategy, as I said earlier on. And Dragon now under pressure from Valid. On the medium tyres versus the softs. Can he go all around the outside? He can't. Striker's had a spin in Sector 1. Can he carry it on? He does. P-Pockets trying to get past Johnny on those intermediate tyres. As Dragon has stayed in front of Valid. Johnny surely has to pit on this lap. He can't stay out on those inters. I don't know what McLaren were thinking there. Maybe they didn't want to double stack. As Valid looks to take 4th place off of Dragon. He does so, unless Dragon can brave it round the outside. And he pushes him wide. Max sets the fast lap of the race. Johnny gets a 5-second time penalty for his troubles. And that is his race definitely over with. So Valid fighting back to a podium finish is almost. Dragon goes straight into the back of Valid. And Juno's in a good position here. The two in front of him have 3-second time penalties. We have a look at the penalties. 3 seconds for Valid, 3 seconds for Dragon. If Juno can keep his pace until the end of the race, he could finish on the podium this afternoon, but he's got Foxy to deal with. Dragon, I'm sure, is not done battling Valid, though. Those soft tyre advantage, he's going to try and use them everywhere he can. Umphy with 11 seconds, that will definitely drop him out of the points. Oh, Johnny has to take 2 swipes at it. Strikes at another spin, and yeah, this is a day to forget for Striker Boy. Move on to next weekend as we head to the Spanish Grand Prix. But this race is definitely not over yet. P-Pockets and Max, 2.7 seconds separate the leaders. The Dragon dropped back from Valid here. And Juno is about a second, 1.9 seconds behind Dragon. And I think it's a race of a lot of things. Is Luca, if he pitted for those soft tyres the lap before, he would have been thinking. Striker has officially retired from the session in that middle sector. Is that going to cause a safety car, virtual safety car maybe? See, he's really parked in that middle sector, but nothing indicates a safety car at the moment. So Max leads 2.3 seconds the gap from P-Pockets. Valid with 3-second time penalty is ahead of Dragon, who also has a 3-second time penalty. Then comes Juno, doesn't have any penalties at all. Faxi and RD Gamer. Max just got to be a bit careful of where that Red Bull is parked. It's been cleared up now. As we are on lap 25 and 29, and as I said, it's going to be an exciting race, and it definitely has been here at Miami, but with 3 laps to go, still a lot to be decided. As Luca gets in front of Johnny, and for Johnny again, what were McLaren thinking, keeping him out as long as they did on those intermediate tyres? I think a mistake from McLaren there. As Max crosses the line, doesn't set a new fastest lap, as the gap at the front is coming down, and it's going to be a 2-horse race between these two, Max and P-Pockets. going to be who has the best tyre wear, who's got the most DRS, who's got the raw pace. Who's not going to make a mistake? That's the other question. If there's a mistake from either one of these two, could be costly. As Max looks to gain the most points he can for Mercedes, as obviously Ramon is retired under the safety car under the wet, which caused crazy incidents, and Ramon will be hating himself. He did that. Luca getting himself a 3-second time penalty as he continues his battle with Johnny for the wooden spoon of 12th or 13th, as it's a lovely move, to be fair, from Johnny, all the way around the outside of Luca, as they touch, as they collide, and Johnny gets spun round. He resets the track as well. That is not allowed. As we turn our attention back to podiums, as Juno is on a charge. He's got to get past Dragon, and then he's got to get... Well, then he's going to keep within 3 seconds of Valid to score his maiden podium this season. As Dragon, I think, hits the wall there. As Dragon, I don't think is he going to fight that too hard? No, he won't. Juno into 4th place. Oh, as I say that, the switchback happens, and he lets go of the throttle there, pedal. As Juno looks to chase Valid down. 2.6 seconds, the gap. Which means currently, if Juno can keep this gap as it is, he will be on the podium. Valid in 3rd. And then the gap at the front, almost down to a second. As we could have a last lap overtake for the lead of this race. Sector 3, Johnny has done another spin, and a race that's gone from okay to bad for Johnny. He will not be happy with his performance, and I'm sure not happy with the McLaren strategy. One McLaren will be getting points, and he might be getting a few more if he can get past the Aston Martin. As we head down the back straight. He looks to... I would have gone for a dive bomb there personally. As Valid picks up an... Oh, Valid picks up another 3-second time penalty. Which means that Juno doesn't even need to be in 3 seconds. He needs to be in 6 seconds. And the interval between Juno and Valid actually gone over 3 seconds. Dragon might be coming back here at Juno. He does have his own 3-second time penalty. The leaders onto lap 28 at 29. The gap at the front, 1.5 seconds. The other closest battle on track right now is Dragon and Juno. As once again, Johnny spins. I think uses the reset to track again. So we head through the S's, 1.6 seconds. P-Pockets, I'm sure, hoping for a mistake from the Mercedes driver, just so he can get within DRS range. He just needs one chance to have a go at a race that he was leading comfortably for most of it, but a strategic call from Mercedes to pit under the safety car for a new set of inters to take the lead before the switch to dries might just be a brilliant call, as Hardy Gamer once again looking to get Foxy to move up to 6th, as this time he will have a dive down the inside. Foxy will try and keep it around the outside as he runs off the road there. Hardy Gamer giving him room, but I think Hardy Gamer will pull in front of him. It's now 6th for the McLaren, 7th for the Aston Martin. So, final lap of the race. The gap at the front, 1.7 seconds, and I think Max might have done enough. As we are on the final lap of the race, Valid needs to pull out another 2 seconds on Juno to deny him his first podium this season. The gap now 2 seconds between P-Pockets and Max. I think for Mercedes it could be another win. As Hardy Gamer once again gets back in front of Foxy. As these two have been having a great clash the entire race. As Chris GT also looks to... Well, he's already in the points because of Umpy's time penalties. But I'm sure he'd like to do the on-track overtake. But as we ride on board with Max, he's had a brilliant race this afternoon. You can't deny that. A brilliant Mercedes strategy call, putting him on the set of intermediate tyres just under the safety car, just before it switched to dries. He got the overtake done, which gave him the track position he needed. And it's going to be 2 for 2 for Mercedes. Ramon picking the win up in the opener in Bahrain. And for Max, he'll get his first win this season in Swift Motorsport in the T2 as he comes home to win the Miami GP. P-Pockets will follow him home for second place. Valid will come home third on track. But I think for Juno, he'll cross the line to claim podium number 1 in T2 this season as he finishes third. Valid will get fourth. Then comes Dragon, Artie Gamer, Foxy, Uncle Grandpa Fighting Moments in 8th. Then Jake Boy for a double Aston Martin points finish. Unfee will finish 10th on track as Chris GT has spun on the final corner, which actually might deny him a points finish if he can't close down, but I think he might do it. It's Luca does quite the aggressive overtake, but Chris GT will get his point. He lost his front wheel as well. That's a very strange incident on the line as Johnny will come home very shortly. I think trying to just get fastest lap of the race. But what a win for the Mercedes team, and you can't say that with that strategy call, they deserve to win that race. Obviously, a lot of team play with Ramon helping to slow down the pack, but you got to be in it to win it, and that was a brilliant race from Max, brilliant race from Mercedes, and we will talk to the top 3 momentarily as the race comes to an end here. And Max picking up his first win this season in T2. And if the top 3 would like to be interviewed, I will bring them into the channel. And we can have a bit of an interview there. But there it is, there's Ramon. Sorry, not Ramon, Max. On the top step of the podium with the Haas and the Red Bull. And it's a double, 2 Mercedes wins in a row now from both their drivers. Quite the entertaining race that was. As it took a while to get there, but we got there in the end. Worth the race as we head to do some interviews with the top 3. If the top 3 would like to be interviewed, please just jump into General VC and I will drag you into the channel. I think Juno is in there first, so Juno obviously picking up 3rd place, so we'll move them over in here. Oh, hello, Juno. Well done on your maiden podium this season in P3, but I imagine that was quite the tricky race for you.
Yeah, my interstint was not the greatest. I didn't feel very comfortable in it at all. I was doing a lot of sliding. I did have a 5-second penalty for contact on the safety car, which if I didn't serve it in the pits, I would have got removed. But yeah, I got the result I wanted, so I'm not complaining.
It looked very solid for you, but unfortunately, I think for your teammate, it didn't end brilliantly for him. Quite a sad race for him, but I don't think there was a lot he could do about it.
No, yeah, it was just connection issues. I think he would have been up there with us, fighting for P1, if he was at the right place. So.
And you had to push a lot on that last few laps to make sure you were in the time limit to get your podium. But a very good race from you, and we'll see if we can get any of the other top 3 to have an interview. But thank you, Juno. Cheers for that. Well done on your podium. And you move on to Spain next weekend.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, right. Cheers, man. Appreciate it. So we'll just see if we can get if the Mercedes driver is listening. or the Haas driver. If you want to join General VC, I will happily drag you in. But if not, as I said, I won't interview anyone else. It's the rules. I'm sorry. So if you two want an interview, just join General VC now. If not, it's all good, and we'll end the race there. But thank you everyone for listening and bearing with me for my first stream for Swift. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, then please watch again. And I won't be here for Spain, but I will be here for the weekend afterwards. But cheers everyone, thanks for sticking with me, and hope you enjoyed the race.